What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jeff Guy here, and in today's video I'm showing you my Falcons online franchise. This is a rebuild where I started as the Buccaneers, and because someone dropped as the Falcons and kind of destroyed the team, I took over for them and have rebuilt them into the 5 seed in the NFC, heading into Week 17 and Week 18 of Year 2. So this is the 2024, soon-to-be 2025 season in the NFL. We have turned them into an absolute powerhouse, so I'm excited to show you this team, what's coming up in Week 17, 18, the playoffs, and some of our plans for the draft. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video, want to stay around, subscribe to the channel, like, do all those things. Let's get into the team right now. Okay, so here's the problem, that the guy who had the team before me kind of blew it up. You'll see some fun stuff going on, and I'll get into it in a second. They traded Kyle Pitts, who in Madden, if you know Madden at all, you know he is arguably the best player to exist in the game, like maybe Tariq Woolen, Mahomes, some of the other guys. He's so unstoppable, and it was so frustrating when I saw that trade go through. It has kind of reshaped how I've thought about this team. He also traded Desmond Ridder to me as the Buccaneers, which I thought was a great trade for me. Traded him straight up for Devin Tompkins, who's currently on the team. That Bucs team has been taken over by a couple of different people at this point and is in the bottom of the barrel. And I took over the Falcons, and they're great. So maybe I'm just great. Who knows? But so as of right now, Malik Willis got from the Titans in a blockbuster deal, which was terrible for the Falcons. He is currently the starting quarterback. He's actually performing really well with 97 throw power, 90 speed. He is a Lamar Jackson light. Still normal development, but I'm currently 4th in the league in passing yards, and I think 2nd in touchdowns. He won't win MVP because Will Levis has 60 touchdowns and 6,000 yards. It's a whole thing. He won't win MVP, but I would be very surprised if he did not win like NFC Player of the Year, or at least go up in some kind of dev trait. If he goes up to Superstar, he could probably be our quarterback of the future. As of right now, we're not committing to him. The player we are committed to is Bijan Robinson, which, you know, you talk about real life, like Arthur Smith doesn't use him, although this Thanksgiving week, he had 2 touchdowns, did a great job. He's playing up to a 99 overall already. In his second year, we earned him X Factor halfway through year 1. 92 speed, 94 excel, 97 ball carrier vision, 99 carrying, 97 juke, 97 change of direction. Monster. Absolute monster. Has maxed out his abilities. We have Wrecking Ball, Human Joystick, RB Apprentice, Grab and Go, and Backfield Mismatch on him. Like I mentioned in my Titans rebuild video, I use my running backs primarily as receivers. I'm not a huge fan of running the ball, both trying to upgrade my stats and do all that stuff, but also just like, you know, I want to air it out. I want to have some fun. So he is electric out of the backfield, catches a lot of great passes, as does our slot receiver and backup running back, Dalvin Cook. He lost all of his abilities in real life, in real life Madden, not in this franchise. We brought him in free agency just because we needed another guy with abilities, and this was before a different acquisition on the team. He plays slot receiver and spells Bijan Robinson when he's tired. He's just primarily there to catch the ball for his abilities. We probably overpaying him, but we keep him. The big acquisition was Justin Jefferson. We sent, I believe it was AJ Terrell. We sent Arnold Ebiketie and I believe a 1st-round pick to the Vikings. We weren't going to re-sign, or we could have re-signed AJ Terrell and been totally fine. But this guy wasn't going to re-sign Justin Jefferson. He needed a corner really badly. I needed a receiver really badly. So we made that trade. I probably overpaid given the fact that I'm also going to have to re-sign Justin Jefferson and he wants a bag. But he's a monster. I don't use him as much as I should, but I use him primarily as a distraction to get Bijan Robinson and our tight end the ball. But you know, absolute freak, 99 overall, maxed out abilities, deep out and deep in elite on him, as well as grab and go, a route tech. I really try to not throw jump balls to him. I want to get him in space, get him moving because he's so good. And then our other receivers are kind of bad. Danny Gray from the 49ers, he's like 95 speed, not really worth writing home about. Devin Tompkins is 94 speed, another guy just kind of bad. And then we got this rookie, Admiral Stuckey. Not really anything special. He is 6'4" with 91 speed, 87 change of direction. He's fine. Like, I'll throw him in there when I need, you know, just to spell somebody else. But he's just slower than the other guys, and my offense is so high-powered, and I need guys with speed out there. So Stuckey plays sometimes, but not really. And then Rager, Marquise Goodwin are there just to be there. Our tight ends are, so we got Chigo Conquo from the Titans in that deal. Obviously, the previous user had done that. He obviously a monster tight end, 6'3", 88 speed. He's on our Titans team. However, I saw this tight end in the draft that I could not pass up at the end of the first round last year. So I took him. I earned superstar development with him, 6'5", 21 years old, 87 speed, 91 acceleration, 87 catching traffic right now. He wasn't as good as I wanted him to be. Like, you know, he's a speed slower than Chigo Conquo. I thought he would be 89, 90 speed. However, he's been a monster for us, allows us to use some really good 2 tight end sets. And now that he's superstar development, he is the closest thing to a Kyle Pitts replacement that we could get without trading an arm and a leg to get him back. So we have kind of replaced Kyle Pitts even though, you know, you can't replace Kyle Pitts. Offensive line, we've done a little bit of shifting. Haven't really upgraded anything here. Slid Chris Lindstrom out to tackle just to have the best players out there. Jake Matthews is on the last year of his deal. He'll be gone. And then the offensive line, like, it's good enough. Like, I'm probably paying too much to Chris Lindstrom. I think he's getting 22. And then I cut and re-signed Jake Matthews just to save a little money there. But the name of the game for this team has been cutting a lot of salary, and we've done that. And now it's building it back up with some big contracts coming up, like Justin Jefferson. Malik Willis will want some contract. But outside of that, we're in good shape because of the way we've built this team. Speaking of how we built the team, we went off in free agency. We did have a lot of cap room to play with because one of the stipulations of me taking the team was we reset the cap penalty. So I was able to get rid of a couple big contracts like Grady Jarrett. What's his face? Jake Matthews, a couple other big ones that like allowed me to spend some money in free agency and make this team good and kind of oversee a rebuild that was in really rough shape and is now a force. So starting on the D line, we have 2 elite pass rushers in Daniil Hunter and Khalil Mack. I primarily use their abilities as run stopping. I prefer to ball hawk and force people to pass the ball against me. So I have an inside stuff with Jonathan Allen. We traded for him from the Commanders and then signed Khalil Mack and Daniil Hunter in free agency. So no outsiders on the superstars and no insiders on the Jonathan Allen defensive tackle. Linebackers, not anything to write home about. We brought Bobby Wagner in just to be a mentor. He's outplaying our other guy, Anthony Orji. He's pretty good. Lorenzo Carter doesn't really play. Neither does this Phillips guy I drafted. Who does play on my defenses, I'll show you later, is Brandon Hill, who's a free safety, comes down to play sub linebacker for us. He plays excellently. And then our corners are really strong. We found a defensive coordinator with the +3 speed to corners. So Jeff Okudah is our number 1 corner, 94 speed, 6'1". So he's solid, not going anywhere. We did pick up Kalen Barnes in free agency. I think we're paying him like $9 or $10 million a year. He's upgraded drastically from like a 65. He's playing up to an 80, 99 speed, 82 man. He's excellent. He is not going anywhere. Certainly the future of this team. I'd be surprised if he didn't go up in dev. And then Brandon Eccles, we're definitely going to need to address corner. We need a third option. He is 97 speed with this boost, so he's certainly usable. However, he's not an excellent player. Like, he'll make a play occasionally, but since they're all playing up, I don't really need to make a change. I will look to add another corner at some point. Safeties, Jesse Bates, Brandon Hill, as we mentioned, Savage and Abram. I brought those guys in free agency just to be some depth. Jesse Bates has played awesome. I probably need to give him the number 3 that he has in real life. He had a pick 6 against Derek Carr last week. But Brandon Hill is my user. He's 23, 5'11", 92 speed, 87 hit power. I don't see a jumping rating on here, but it is pretty high. He's great over the middle, does a lot of things really, really well with that 96 acceleration. So I'm able to cover a lot of things with him. And he and Bobby Wagner do this nice little 2-man game in my nickel 3-3-5 defense. So that is the team. Like, that's how it looks. Cordero Patterson is here. See, Kalen Barnes is playing in the slot. Hill's in the sub linebacker spot. Bijan Robinson is a 3-down back at this point. We got some guys on the practice squad, whatever. The beautiful thing about this team is that we have set ourselves up for success for the next couple years, and we are a Super Bowl contender, provided that we could develop Malik Willis. If we can't do that, we're probably going to have a tough time. As you know, he is the quarterback, probably the quarterback of the future. We have him on contract for the next 2 years. Bijan's going to be here. He's going to want a bag in a couple of years. Justin Jefferson's going to get the bag this year. I think I actually have to franchise tag him. Just a little bit of strategy here. His motivations tags, he needs a franchise QB, he needs historic championships, and he needs to be in the Super Bowl chase, right? And we only have one of those things. What I'm hoping is that I can franchise tag him this offseason. And as Malik Willis develops, and hopefully this offseason he earns or in the Super Bowl week, he earns the franchise tag QB thing, and I'll be able to pay Justin Jefferson less. So I'm probably going to have him play on the tag next year, just to keep him around, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with the receiver outside of him, just because none of the other guys are a true wide receiver too. Shemi Otto, funny name. He's going to be our tight end of the future. And then like everything else, we'll have to replace some offensive line. There aren't a ton of contracts that are coming up. As I cycle through these, you'll see we have 2-3 year deals for all these guys who are, really impact players. So we don't have to re-sign that many people. And look at that cap space. We have $70 million in cap space coming up without a penalty. So we'll be able to spend money in free agency if there are people available. And we could also make some moves. And, if we need to trade a Dalvin Cook, he has a, $6 million penalty. Like we can eat that, no problem. And keep working on upgrading our team, whether it's wide receiver, whether Malik Willis doesn't go up and we go get a quarterback. There's so much fun that can happen with this Falcons team, and we are already in Super Bowl contention. So I think this team's going to be a force for seasons to come. We'll probably play at least between 3 and 7 seasons throughout the course of Madden 24 as we approach NCAA next year, Madden 25. So make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you're watching this team because it's going to be so much fun. We'll have videos coming out in the next couple days. We'll go over games, we'll do film, and we'll talk about the strategy. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.